And now joining me is 13-year-old Munyal Kwairanga, who won 2 gold medals in a just concluded competition, and her father. Thank you so much for joining us on Global Sports Reports on Horizon News. Well, I think first of all, I will say a big congratulations to you for winning this medal. Now, when you're going for the competition, how prepared were you? What was the preparation like?
Okay, so it was very intense training we had to go through because we had to stay in the stadium till very late in the night to make sure that all our routines are completed and make sure that they are perfect so that there are no slip-ups during the competitions.
And how did you make that with school?
It was extremely hard because that week we were actually writing our tests and it wasn't enough time for me to read and also train at the same time. So I just had to try and merge them together, and it was good.
And for you who took her to the competitions, how do you feel about looking at your daughter, especially as a young girl, combining school, combining sports, and also I know that she's an artist.
Yes, Munyal is an artist. Since she was 2 years old, she has been struggling and moving up and down in the sitting room, breaking plates and going up into the chair. But as parents, we saw her passion and we decided to give her our support to do gymnastics, and so far she has not disappointed. And she's really doing well academically and in sports too.
Now, I'm looking at, we know when it comes to sports in Nigeria, there's usually a lot of constraints. But now as a girl, a young girl like her, what would you say are the constraints in having a child who engages in sports while schooling?
Actually, I would love parents to look at Munyal as an example and support their children. Despite the fact that there's not much support and commendation from the government, especially from North East states, the Gombe state and Bauchi state, but I feel parents should also put their own contributions and bring out that gift inside their children, because we have a lot of gifted children in this country, especially in the north, but unfortunately they are not being exposed to bring out their gift outside.
Munyal, for you, we know that you also have other competitions you'll be engaging in, for instance, in May, Singapore. How do you plan on tackling that? What are your expectations? Do you still hope to achieve something like this or better?
I hope to achieve many gold medals and to make my country and parents proud. But the honest truth is that there isn't enough money for us to be taken to Singapore, and we hope that the government can help with that, so that we can all go and make our country proud.
Now, when you look at other girls or other gymnasts, how comfortable they look during these competitions, how would you say you want gymnastics to be seen, especially for people, younger girls like you who want to participate in this competition?
I encourage young girls to to continue with their dreams and passions, to not be limited to what they see. Because as a girl child, normally we aren't really pushed much to do things like this. But we should be encouraged to go to many competitions and start to do many skills and works to enhance our dreams and goals.
Well, for you, talking about encouraging young girls to compete like this, I know especially as a girl who liked sports growing up, people say, why are you watching sports? Why don't you do something different? How do you encourage your daughter? We know that there are always times probably when she could get tired or probably tired of this, but how do you encourage her to say, just keep it up? Because you do not even know if she might want to practice it further.
You know, those days when we were kids, we used to play, and whenever we play, we don't go to school, our parents will chase us to go and take our books. Now we have realized that skills is also very, very important in addition to academics. So when I saw the gift and the passion in Munyal, I and her mother decided to say, look, let's follow it, let's see what this girl will bring out of the competition, and she's really doing very well. And sorry, she got 4 gold medals, not 2.
Okay.
3 gold medals and 1 overall medal in this Northeastern State gymnastics that just finished.
I think a big congratulations to you. It's something of pride, especially as a parent and as a young girl too. Now, I will look at you as technically, you are 13 now. What are your hopes, especially as a gymnast? Will you compete in Singapore? But what more do you want to achieve as a gymnast? Is it something that you want to continue in?
Gymnastics has always been my dream, and it has always been and I have always wanted to compete in the Olympics one day, to represent my country and to represent my family, states, and everyone else. And I hope to go further in gymnastics and to reach the Olympic stage.
For you, how well do you think you can support, continue support? We know that we always clamor or hammer on the government supporting sports more and everything, but this is Nigeria.
The government that we are talking about may not necessarily be financial. In 2022, Munyal won gold medal for her state, Gombe State, during the National Sport Festival in Delta State. But Munyal was not even given a commendation letter from the government. We need them to be encouraged by inviting them, shaking their hands, showing them that they are really behind their children. We are not talking about necessarily only finances. We are also talking about showing concern, so that our children who have passion in sports can be encouraged to continue. In addition to this request that I am just making, there's also the financial part, whereby now presently Munyal is invited to go to Singapore to represent the state. But I don't think I can afford to take her to Singapore. But if the government can come in, yeah, we'll appreciate the government to come in, offer her scholarship in her education, academics, and the sports.
Well, but looking at Nigeria, would you say, aside from the government coming, would you say if education and sports are taken hand in hand, it could be better for the country? Because we know that when you look at other foreign countries, it goes hand in hand. But here, I think they are quite independent of each other.
Look at our just concluded national, the African Cup of Nations. All Nigerians came together. There was no tribe, no religion, no section. All of us came together to support our country. If sports can bring such things, if we continue to support sports like gymnastics, boxing, and other sports, Nigeria will be united. Nigeria will be one. And like Munyal is a Fulani girl. There's a lot of negativism about Fulanis now. But if you now go to the motor parks in the northeast part, you can see many, many Fulani children that are redundant, doing nothing. But if you see the talent in them, so we can bring them in, bring them to the stadium, give them training, and we will not have much problems and tension in the country.